Hey, congratulations. If you just recently got a promotion, I'm proud of you. You made it. Now what? Here's the biggest piece of advice I can give you. Don't act like that you know it all. Today on the Sales Life, I'm going to give you some tips. Now that you got promoted, I'm going to give you some tips on how to gradually promote your mindset as well. This is the Sales Life. I'm your host, Marsh Bice. And the Sales Life is where we take the skills that I've learned in over 24 years of the sales profession, and I'll show you how to apply those to every area of your life. The number one skill that you need in life is your ability to sell using 5 core skills: communication, curiosity, creativity, continuous learning and action, and productive confrontation. See, whether you're trying to get back up after you've been knocked down or you're trying to move up, the only way that you're never going to settle is to keep selling. Everything that you've achieved in life is because you sold your way there, and everything that you haven't accomplished in life is because you settled and you stopped selling. So if you want to have more, do more, be more, then say no more. So glad that you are here. If you're tuning in today, please like the show. Show your support by liking the show. If you love the show, share it with someone else. And if you commit to the sales life, be sure and subscribe to it also. Leave your additions, your comments also as we go along. What would you add to what am I missing? What would you add to it? Please leave it and be sure and give you a shout out. And if you're watching this on the replay, still got love for you. Make sure that you pop in on that as well. So let's talk about the biggest piece of advice that I would give, and I wish someone would have given me when I first got promoted. And the 2 pieces of advice that I can give you is to take the initiative and ask questions. That's the biggest thing. Take the initiative, but ask questions. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a manager, as a young manager, is that they take the mindset that they had from the previous position and they try to take it into the new position now. So, in other words, if you were a top producer at one time, then you take that same mindset, acting like you're a top producer, top dog. But you got to understand, you're in a new position. So at one time you were at level 10, but now that you've accepted the new position, you're back on the bottom rung. You're level 1. And the biggest mistake that I see in young managers who are newly promoted is that they take the mindset thinking that they're still the top producer, they're the top dog, and you're not at all. That is what got you there. Now you got to earn your spot again. One thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to walk in acting like that you have all the answers. And I get that you have something to prove. The ego within you would actually say, good morning. The ego within you would actually say that you have something to prove. You have something to prove to the doubters, and you have something to prove to those who are actually welcoming you. So I get the fact that you want to walk in thinking that you have all the answers, but you don't. And this is one of these rare moments that you actually have, that you got a lot of runway. So you will have a limited amount of time that you can actually, it's the honeymoon. So you're walking in with this honeymoon scenario, but the honeymoon don't last forever. So, and as a young, newly promoted manager, you've got some flexibility. You've got some runway. But one thing I want you to remember is you've got to use every bit of that. So don't come in as a know-it-all. Come in as a know-at-all. I don't know it all. So ask questions. Take the initiative. And that's the thing that I want to really, really impress on that. So one thing that you have to understand is when you first come in, it can be easy to look at another manager, a senior manager, and just because you guys bear the same title, you don't bear the same experience. So don't come in just because, okay, now I got the same title as this one over here. You don't, because she has a decade worth of experience in management. You do not. She has seen things and gone through things that you can't teach. You can only learn through experience. But you've got to be able to come in this situation and just be wide open. So, what I want you to do, the first thing I want you to do as a new manager, ask the questions, but take the initiative. And taking the initiative is where it seems a little contrarian, but you're not waiting to be told to do anything. You're actually taking the initiative to take on things. And what these taking on things are is where you're actually lightening the load for the senior managers. And I know that you think that when you first, well, I mean, I don't have to do that. I mean, I'm a manager too. No, you're not. You're not equal. You have the same title, you don't bear the same experience. So, taking the initiative, here is your superpower. If you take the initiative and you lighten the load of some of these other managers, what's going to happen is this is your opportunity to learn, do the things that they don't want to do. They'll appreciate that. And then also, this gives you an opportunity to ask questions. See, no one is here to teach you. No one's going to teach you in management. You have to take, and you have to take the lessons. You have to take the opportunities. It does not mean that you're in a solo project. It does not mean that you're rowboating alone. No, but no one is going to be incentivized. An older manager, a senior manager, does not want to take the time necessarily to teach you everything. So you have to take the initiative. You have to take the opportunities. And the way that you do that is you take the burdens, you take the grunt work, you take the things that they don't want to do, and you do it for them. Now, let me tell you what that's going to do. Because you're taking it on for them, you're doing these things. Not only do you get a chance to actually learn and figure these things out, but you've earned the right to actually ask the questions. And you're able to say, hey, how do I do this? And because you're lightening the load for them, they're incentivized to answer your questions. If you're not, older managers are what's in it for me. I don't mind teaching young managers, but there are responsibilities and heat that I got to handle. So for me to stop everything to do something for you, I don't necessarily want to do. But if you're doing something for me on my behalf, and I didn't even ask you to do it because you took the initiative, now I'm more incentivized to actually answer those questions and help you out and get you going along the way. So this is a prime opportunity for you. You get a 2-for-1. You take the initiative, you learn extra things that no one is going to teach you. You add it to your tool bag of experience as you go on, and you learn along the way. Now, asking the questions as you take the initiative, asking the questions is super important. But there are going to be times where you get on a solo project. There are going to be times when you're by yourself. Don't be so quick to ask for help. Depending what the consequences are. And I know it sounds contrarian, but let me help you out. Many times young managers are too quick to ask for help. So what they'll do is they'll get in low consequence situations. They're too quick to get to a sticking point, and they're quick to, hey, I can't find how to get to the next screen. I can't match my numbers up. What I want you to do is don't be so quick to ask for help on these low consequence moments. Meaning what I want you to do is I want you to get to a sticking point and go one click above that. So get to the point where you're like, dude, I can't figure this part of it out. Right there, sit in there, go one click above. Because what you're going to do is you're going to start building up your tolerances. You're going to start earning your independence. Because what happens is if you're too quick to ask for help, then you develop that habit. And it becomes so habitual that you depend on everybody else to bail you out. And there are moments, in low consequence moments, how to get to another screen, your numbers don't match up. Everything that you need to know is right there. You just don't know what to look for. And so if you get yourself in these spots where you get to these sticking points, and then you got to FIO, you got to figure it out. This is how you're going to learn more. And then when you get to the sticking point and one click above, and then you still can't go any further, then what I want you to do is I want you to ask for help as well. Sean Ryan says, I was recently promoted and taking on a new market for the company, and I needed to hear this. I'm so glad that this is perfect opportunity for you, Sean. Thanks so much, man, for coming on. There is no guide, and these are things that you just have to kind of learn along the way as well. So this is what's super, super important. One thing that you have to understand is how many times, if you're a senior manager, you've been in positions before where you actually, a young manager taught you something. And this is proof positive that people are going to teach you from the scope of their limitations. Okay. So if I were to teach you something, Sean, then what's going to happen is I'm going to teach you based on the experience of everything that I know. But there may be new situations or new abilities or new features that I know nothing about. So if you're too quick as a young manager to come ask me for help, then what's going to happen is I'm going to actually teach you from all that I know. But there's something else that is actually out there that you could have learned on your own. And then this is where it sloshes back. Then this is where you actually come back as a young manager and you start teaching the older ones. Did you know you could do this? I've had countless times where young managers who have a fraction of time on me, I've been in management for 23 of my 24 years. And there are young managers who have been there for 2 months and say, Marsh, did you know you could do this right here? And I'm like, oh my God, I had no clue. But see, if all they did is, as a young manager, if all they did was depend on me to teach them everything that I know, they would have never learned that. You see how that works? It's 360, man. It's 360. But if you come in with this mindset of, as a newly promoted person, oh, I got it all figured out. Oh, I'm supposed to be here. You got to respect me. No, you got to earn the respect, number one. And number two is, you got to ask a lot of damn questions. You got to ask questions that nobody's even saying, do you understand? Just ask the questions. Do not. Think about it like this. Think about it as a young salesperson. When salespeople start, the first thing I tell them to do is don't go out there acting like you have a decade worth of experience in selling. You don't. Good morning, Nat. What's happening? Good morning, Jason. So don't act like for 1 minute. Let me get in here on what's happening I'm talking to TikTok. Yes, grow. So do not act like for 1 minute. Where was I? I don't even know what I was talking about. I don't know. So it works 360. I got to get back on track. So it works 360. It's taking the initiative. It's asking the questions, and it's coming in wide open. Just be a sponge at all times. You've always got to stay green. But your biggest opportunity when you first get in here, man, what I want you to realize is it's wide open. There's a lot of compassion. We don't expect you to know it all. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about young salespeople. So what I tell young salespeople all the time, don't come in acting like that you've been selling this. Yeah, thanks, Nat. Do not act like for 1 minute. That's the tough thing, man. When you comment on live, I forget where I was. So thanks, Nat. So as a young salesperson, do not come in acting like that you know it all. And so I tell my salespeople, customers can sniff that out. So if they can sniff that out, then you come across as full of shit. And they're not going to buy from you because they don't trust you, because you're acting like that you have it going on and that you know it all. You don't. So as a new salesperson, I tell them, stay green for as long as you can. Act like you don't know it all. Tell customers you don't know it all. And what happens is the customers have compassion on you and they say, okay, hey, cool. And they actually like that. And they'll actually like the fact that they were able to help you out along the way. That's the same kind of mindset that you have to have as a young manager. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a senior manager that is dumb as a box of rocks? I mean, dude, they've been doing this for 5 years. And you're like, bro, how'd you get this far? Here's why. They're full of shit. And here's why. Because what happens is this is how they screwed up. They came in thinking they were the top dog. And they came in with that mindset. They never asked questions. And so as the hallways got more narrow, the expectations rose, the consequences and the stakes rose, and their hallway, their time that they had to ask questions has now gotten very small. So now, because you've been doing this for a certain amount of time, I expect you as a senior manager to know what you're supposed to be doing. And see, if you come in like that and you lose that honeymoon, your time's up. So then this is where you have to burn the candle on both ends, and you have to act like you know what's going on, and you ain't got a freaking clue. Proof positive. So why not come in as a rookie? Don't come in. Well, look at it like this. My daughter's in 8th grade. She's the king of 8th grade. She's the queen of 8th grade. Next year, she goes to high school. She's in 9th grade. So she's in the top of the hallway. Teachers absolutely love her in 8th grade. Next year, bottom rung. Starting all over. Freshman. Got to ratchet it back up. And this is the reason why people don't grow. This is the reason why people don't throw their hat in the promotion ring. This is the reason why people are saying, I'm good. No, because they don't want to go back to the bottom rung. Because being at the bottom rung shows that you're vulnerable, shows that you don't have the answers, shows that you're dependent on someone else, shows that your weaknesses, you don't know how to figure things out. It's perfect. If you're in that position, you're exactly where you want to be. And if you're newly promoted, please, please, please take the initiative and ask questions. Don't wait to be told. Do the grunt work and ask all the questions you possibly can. If you do that, you're going to level up. It's something that you earn along the way. So if you are a new manager listening to this, what is something that you're dealing with? Love to be able to help you out. I'd love for the TSL Nation. Drop your comments down below. I'd love for the TSL Nation to actually help you out as well. With that, remember, the greatest sale that you will ever make is to sell you on you. Stay amazing. Stay in the sales life. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Let me come back around real quick. Sean, thanks so much, man. I hope that helps you out. And if you have more questions, man, please let me know. Jason Fry, what's up, coach? This is how you learn more. So much of what we do to become successful is one click up. That's right. Get to one click. Get to the sticking point. One click above that. Figure it out. And this is your time too, coach, where in your downtime, click buttons. Figure out what those things are. This is your downtime is not to bullshit with a bunch of other managers. Your downtime is actually the time where you actually click buttons. Look at the tutorials. Don't do what the senior managers are doing. They're where they are. And just because you think that, oh, I don't have to do that because they're not doing that, take all the training, do all the manuals, click all the buttons, practice different scenarios. Do all that you possibly can. You got a lot of leeway. You got a lot of runway. Make it happen. Happy Wednesday to you, Nat. Randy, what's happening, man? Thank you so much for jumping on and leaving your comments as well. Learn a lot from you as well. All right, I got to get out of here. I got to go work out. Then I got to go to work, just like the rest of us. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for the time that you've actually given me. If I can help you guys out, please let me know. Also, if you want more from the Sales Life, go to thesaleslife.me. It's right there. There you will find thousands of free resources to learn the number one skill that you need in life. That's the ability to sell. Everything that we do in life is through selling. So there you will find blogs and videos, and we're banging on nearly 700 podcast episodes as well. So, all right, guys, stay amazing. Stay in the sales life. Take care.